Home of the landlocked Queen Mary Hotel, and there's 100,000 people here to see the 4th US Grand Prix West, over 80 laps of the twisty 2-mile city course. And after the first 3 rounds of the World Championship, it's Jacques Laffite who won the first 2 of them in the Ligier, leading with 18 points. Reutemann second in the Lotus, 12. Villeneuve, who won in South Africa, third. Then Depailler, Scheckter and Mario Andretti, the world champion. But after practice, it's Gilles Villeneuve in pole position in the Ferrari. Alongside him, Reutemann. Then Scheckter Ferrari and Depailler Ligier. Laffite Ligier and Mario Andretti in the Lotus. So, 2 Italian Ferraris, 2 French Ligiers and 2 British Lotuses dominate the grid for this 80-lap, 160-mile race. But as the grid forms up on the far side of the course, which is where the pits are situated, all is not well, because there is a furious Colin Chapman, the Team Lotus owner, and Carlos Reutemann, the man who was starting on the front row of the grid, second fastest in practice. And Carlos Reutemann has had electrical trouble at the beginning of the warm-up lap, and in accordance with Formula One rules, he is being prevented from joining the grid. So the hapless Argentinian Carlos Reutemann faces the prospect, as the rest of the drivers are on their warm-up lap, of starting the race half a lap behind all of them, and nobody can give that sort of penalty away and do well against people like Jacques Laffite. They're going round to the start now, onto Shoreline Drive. They come up to the official grid, stop on the grid, wait for the red light to change to green, and then away together for 80 laps with the Queen Mary in the background there. The fastest part of the course, and up to the line they come, and Villeneuve is coming up very quickly indeed. Villeneuve has overshot. He has not stopped at the grid. And alongside him was supposed to be Reutemann. Perhaps that's confused him, but on the right in the blue and white Ligier is Patrick Depailler, who now accelerates up alongside, and Jacques Laffite, the man who won the first 2 races of the season, is out of his car, and from the skid marks behind, it looks as though the engine has seized up. This is real drama. This should have been the start. And with a car reversing back, it is all confusion at Long Beach. And now the drivers have apparently decided that they are going to head back to the pits and perhaps wait for a restart, as Jacques Laffite capitalises on this opportunity. He's waving the tow truck up to the stricken Ligier and jumps into the pace car himself, no doubt, to go back to the pits to see if his backup car is ready. So the rest of the drivers, and this is not the race, this is the rest of the competitors heading back to the pits, which uniquely are on the far side of the course. And there is the stricken Ligier being lifted back to the pits off the course as Laffite looks for his backup car. And as the grid is reforming, there's confusion, and James Hunt, there's a rumour that Villeneuve is going to be penalised. James Hunt is there, and he'll have a view on it.
I think that the leading cars, like the pole cars meant to be, never came under orders. He just simply didn't stop at his grid position, so he carried on, and then nobody knew what to do, and it was all good fun. But of course, what's much more fun is all the arguments now, because of course Ferrari, who spent their life shouting the rule book and claiming that they're frightfully sporting, their guy's just broken the rules inadvertently, and obviously normally we just the cock up and we all come back and we race again like friends. But of course people had enough, so now people are protesting Ferrari after all their years of holier than thou, because they are actually the most unsporting team in it, and they're fighting for their life over the rule book, because theoretically Villeneuve's the pole man, he should come under orders for the start, you see. He obviously made a perfectly normal mistake, the boards weren't very clearly shown, failed to come under orders, so that technically classifies as a jump start for a minute penalty. So the Ferrari team managers probably on their phone to Italy now asking for further instructions.
So, will Gilles Villeneuve be penalised? Will he have a time penalty? Well, there's one man who's happy about the delay. It's Jacques Laffite in the backup car, as Patrick Depailler's name, which is underneath him, is taped off. The brilliant Frenchman, winner at the Argentine and the Brazil, gets ready to come out. And there is the grid, 20 minutes later, ready for the official start of the race, and here it is. And Jody Scheckter surges out from behind Villeneuve. Scheckter in the Ferrari, Mario Andretti well up, and they go round the right-hander at Shoreline Drive, down towards the Queen Mary hairpin, and Depailler is coming up. And Villeneuve, and there is trouble on the first lap. Again, that's Patrick Tambay in the McLaren, the Frenchman Patrick Tambay in the McLaren, and he's taken off Niki Lauda with him as well. And Tambay is perfectly all right, and yet another first lap debacle. Let's have a look at it again. The two Ferraris going to the Queen Mary hairpin together with Depailler behind them. And as they do so, Patrick Tambay's McLaren rears up out of the rear of the grid onto Jan Lammer's shadow and hits Niki Lauda, the ex-world champions V12 Brabham, and there is the red car slewing off to the left, and Niki Lauda looks as though he is out of the race already. But at the front, Gilles Villeneuve, the brilliant winner in South Africa, leads Patrick Depailler in the Ligier and Jody Scheckter in the second of the two Ferraris. Then it is Mario Andretti and Jean-Pierre Jarier, the Frenchman, in the Tyrrell. Down to the Queen Mary hairpin at the end of lap 1, and it's Ferrari, Gilles Villeneuve, Ligier, Depailler, Ferrari, Jody Scheckter, and Jean-Pierre Jarier goes through on the inside and takes 4th place away from Mario Andretti, the world champion. Jarier driving brilliantly, the Frenchman who did so well in Canada and America last season. And look at Villeneuve in the flat 12, new T4 Ferrari. And they're all together, and it's Villeneuve. This is only the second race of this new car, and they're first and third. Villeneuve, number 12, leads, and it's Patrick Depailler. And lap 9, Patrick Depailler, car 25, the French Ligier, the Frenchman driving in second place. But Gilles Villeneuve is pulling away already, and James Hunt is out of the race with a broken drive shaft of his Wolf car. Villeneuve leads. Villeneuve in a class of his own already, with Depailler and Scheckter challenging him, and Jarier right with Scheckter. The battle for second place is really intense. Villeneuve leads. Onto the fastest part of the course, and it's tremendously quick here, and just watch how stable the Ferrari is under braking. And Jarier is up into third place now, incredible. Jean-Pierre Jarier is past Jody Scheckter, the South African, in the Ferrari, and now he's going to set about Patrick Depailler, his fellow countryman, in the Ligier in front of him. So it's Villeneuve leading Depailler, leading Jarier, leading Scheckter, and Ferrari's first and third, sandwiching the Ligier and the Tyrrell. First and fourth positions held by the two Scarlet Ferraris. Out go the pit signalling boards. And Jarier closing right up on Depailler on braking. Down the descent, round the left-hander. Now you can see why this Long Beach course is so demanding, terribly punishing as we watch the battle for second place. Punishing on gearboxes, punishing on drive shafts, punishing on brakes and the drivers. Villeneuve, Depailler, Jarier, Scheckter, Mario Andretti in 5th position. This is the battle for second. 3 cars virtually together, and it's very difficult indeed to pass anywhere at Long Beach. There's one natural racing line, and if you're on it, there's no way the man's going to forget. But I'm wrong, it's Jarier coming up to take second place. Jarier goes past Depailler. He has now passed Scheckter and Depailler and is brilliantly up into second place behind the leader, Gilles Villeneuve, in the Ferrari. This race is 80 laps, 160 miles, and that's tremendously grueling. And it's Villeneuve leading number 4, Jarier, then Depailler, then Jody Scheckter in 4th position. Behind him, Mario Andretti, the world champion. Another lap, and still the 3 of them together, and Mario Andretti is closing up in 5th place. The Lotus 79, driven by the world champion, is closing. Jarier, Depailler, Scheckter. And there is the Frenchman in 2nd place on his own temporarily on the course, and there is the gap between the leader, Villeneuve, Jarier in 2nd place, And Jody Scheckter in the Ferrari, sprinting up past Patrick Depailler to take third position. Mario Andretti still in fifth position as they surge away round to complete another lap. And after 12 laps, it's Villeneuve, Jarier, Scheckter, Depailler and Mario Andretti. Villeneuve, the leader. Very, very smooth, absolutely effortless, closing up on a hapless John Watson, the McLaren team leader. Only 17th fastest in practice, moves over to let Villeneuve through, and John Watson is obviously in real trouble. Villeneuve is obviously in no trouble. There's Watson. Gilles Villeneuve then leading, the man who led brilliantly here at Long Beach last year until through sheer inexperience he hit Clay Regazzoni's car and went out of the race. And there's a rumour that Villeneuve is not going to be penalised on time for jump starting, but that he may be heavily fined. Anyway, he's well out in the lead, and Jody Scheckter, lap 28, second. There is Nelson Piquet about to be lapped. In third position, Jarier. In fourth position, Depailler. And in fifth position, Mario Andretti. And there is the third place man, Jean-Pierre Jarier. And it looks as though Jarier is starting to drop back through the field, because the gap between himself and Scheckter in second place, Ferrari's first and second now, is extending. Jarier. Depailler closing right up on his gearbox, and Mario Andretti in fifth place right behind Depailler. There's Piquet in the V12 Alfa Romeo Brabham about to be lapped. Jarier in the unsponsored Tyrrell. Down the descent as Jarier, the Frenchman, in the Tyrrell goes round the right-hander, chasing him very hard indeed. There is Jody Scheckter, and look at the unique position of the rear wing and the bent aerofoil in front. There's the gap. That's Nelson Piquet in the Brabham. About to be lapped. Number 6, Niki Lauda's teammate. Lauda out of the race. Jarier third, Depailler fourth, Andretti fifth. As you can see the tremendous speed of Jody Scheckter and the gap. The two Ferraris well out on head as Jarier goes past Piquet. Depailler goes past Piquet and Andretti goes past Piquet. And Mario Andretti closing right up on Depailler, just essaying to take him but dropping back at the Queen Mary Hep in a tremendously close struggle for third position between these three cars, with the two T4 Ferraris in only their second Grand Prix way out ahead and extending their lead all the time. Jarier, Depailler, Andretti, Tyrrell, Ligier, Lotus. It's the Lotus 79, and Mario Andretti is probably in his last race in this car as Villeneuve goes round the left-hander, extending his lead all the time. Here's the battle for third position, and Alan Jones is right with them. Alan Jones, the brilliant Australian in the white Saudia Williams, has now closed right up behind Mario Andretti, who tries to take Depailler. Four cars together, third, fourth, fifth and sixth. And Alan Jones is driving an absolute stormer of a race. He was second for much of the Long Beach Grand Prix last year, and he's in last year's car. It's not a ground effects car, and that is an incredible achievement. Mario Andretti in fifth place will this coming Sunday be in the new Lotus 80 at the Brands Hatch Race of Champions. So this is his last race in the 79, and there's Williams out of his slipstream. It's Jones, it's the Williams of Jones, the Australian, up into fifth position ahead of Mario Andretti. So the world champion is down a place. And still, Patrick Depailler is on the gearbox of Jean-Pierre Jarier. It's still the Tyrrell, the Ligier, now the Williams, and in sixth place the Lotus 79 of Mario Andretti. Magnificent motor racing. Now we look down on the right on Gilles Villeneuve in the Scarlet Ferrari, about to lap Didier Pironi in the second of the two blue Tyrrell cars. And Villeneuve surges past the Frenchman in a calculated burst of magnificent driving and away down the straight, away from Pironi. Lap 46, and Patrick Depailler is upper place, ahead of Jarier. And in fifth place, right behind Jarier, it's still Alan Jones, then Mario Andretti. So up into third place then has come Patrick Depailler, number 25, and there he is. And now Alan Jones is up to fourth position, and Jarier must be in trouble. Jones in the white Saudia Williams is fourth. Jarier in the blue Tyrrell is fifth, and Mario Andretti is trying desperately to get past the Frenchman and take fifth place from him. Depailler, Jones, Jarier, and Andretti coming out of Jarier's slipstream but having to bob back in again as they go round the right-hander. And there's Jarier, there's Andretti. There's seldom been closer motor racing than this. Absolutely superb. And now, looking back, let us see how Depailler on the left passes Jarier and goes up into third place. A bit of demon braking at the Queen Mary hairpin. Through on the inside, out wide. Jarier tries to take him again on the inside, but Depailler's just got the line to get his foot in, and now Jarier is in trouble. We see what it was, and the positions then: Villeneuve leading, Scheckter, Depailler third, Alan Jones fourth, and Mario Andretti, world champion, in fifth place. So, tyres, all four of them being changed on Jean-Pierre Jarier's Tyrrell, and they're taking a tremendous pounding at this circuit, and it's significant that the two leading Ferraris are both on French-made Michelin tyres, which won with Ferrari at South Africa as well, first and second. And now, Jones and Depailler. Depailler in third place, Alan Jones with him in fourth position, Villeneuve and Scheckter in the two Ferraris ahead of both of them, and Alan Jones driving an inspired race. This burly, phlegmatic but very cheerful Australian has really got the bit between his teeth. Last year's car, there's Villeneuve, the leader. Villeneuve pacing the race from the front, getting the line right, getting the braking right, getting the gear changing right, and watching his pit signals all the time. He knows exactly where he is. And there is Didier Pironi in the white helmet and the blue Tyrrell, with behind him Elio De Angelis in the shadow, the brilliant young newcomer in Formula One. He's only 21 years old, and this is his first season, and he's driving like a veteran. De Angelis then ahead of Pironi, and Pironi doesn't exactly hang about, and look at the way the shadow is weaving under braking. Stuck in the yellow ATS, stops dead on the hairpin. He must have lost the engine. It could conceivably have seized, but from the way he's waving his hand, he looks as though he wants someone to push him. And Jones is past Depailler and up into third position, because there is Depailler with Andretti behind him in fifth place. Andretti fifth, challenging Depailler now. So maybe Depailler's tyres, like those of Jean-Pierre Jarier, are going off. Depailler and Andretti battling for fourth position. Villeneuve leads, Scheckter second. And Jabouille, the other Frenchman, the man who was to start in the Renault, didn't because he broke his wrist. And as a matter of interest and for the record, René Arnoux, the Frenchman in the second of the Renaults, was withdrawn because it was judged that the turbocharged lag on braking and acceleration would be dangerous on this twisty Long Beach course. Villeneuve leading. So Villeneuve leading, but there on the right, number 31, Hector Rebarque's Lotus, the Mexican, who was in sixth position, and Derek Daly's ensign alongside him. Mario Andretti, the world champion. And Andretti is ahead of Depailler and up into fourth position, bidding for 3 points in the World Championship, and he really needs them. It hasn't been a very good season. And John Watson is out of the race after 4 pit stops in the McLaren M28. John Watson has said, enough, I've finished. Out go the boards, and down towards us the world champion Mario Andretti, who was second here at Long Beach last year and won it in 1977. So he's got a proud record, but he is not doing so well by his standards here at Long Beach today, as we're coming towards the closing stages of this 80-lap race. And there is Jody Scheckter. Now look at the rear wing and the bent aerofoil, which must be disturbing the handling of the Ferrari. second in South Africa, beaten by his teammate Villeneuve, who is supposed to be junior to him. I wonder how Jody will like that, because it looks as though he is going to be beaten for the second time in 2 successive races. And it looks too as though the Ferrari T4, and there is the leader, is going to finish not only first but also second for the second Grand Prix in succession. De Angelis about to be lapped by Gilles Villeneuve, nothing to be ashamed of. De Angelis in this race, his first Grand Prix since he was 21 years of age, has truly come of age. And Gilles Villeneuve there, number 12, 27 years old, from Quebec and from Nice, is about to take the black shadow in front of him. And out goes the board. That one says 1 lap to go to Gilles Villeneuve on his way to his third Grand Prix win and his second win in succession. Biding his time beautifully, straight past De Angelis, and if he had done that with Regazzoni last year, this might have been his second successive Long Beach Grand Prix win. But 1 is good enough for the French-Canadian. And if he wins this race, and he's only got a few yards to go, he will take the lead in the World Championship. On to the fastest part of the course, foot hard in, the flat 12 Ferrari engine behind him, and Gilles Villeneuve has just got a few corners to go now before he sees that checkered flag. Look how stable the Ferrari is under braking. Cool as a cucumber. Much older than his 27 years. Immaculate driving, placing it with complete precision. He's nursed the tyres and the car every inch of this race, and he's led all the way. And in 1977 only, in a McLaren, Villeneuve made his Grand Prix debut, and there is the checkered flag going out. And the Long Beach Grand Prix has been won by Gilles Villeneuve, who goes into the lead in the World Championship. Ferrari T4 first. Ferrari T4 with Jody Scheckter at the wheel in second place, and that was the winner. In third position, magnificent driving, Alan Jones in the Saudia Williams. Fourth, world champion Mario Andretti. Fifth, Patrick Depailler in the Ligier. And sixth, Jean-Pierre Jarier in the Tyrrell. And that means to say that as far as the World Championship positions are concerned, Villeneuve moves into the lead with 20 points and 2 wins. Lafitte second with 18 and 2 wins. Third, the second Ferrari, Scheckter. Reutemann fourth, then Depailler and Andretti, followed by Jean-Pierre Jarier. Well, the next Grand Prix is at Spain on Sunday, April the 29th, and BBC 2 will be there with Grand Prix.